Hi, welcome back to the second episode of this series that I've titled Unicorns, about very hard to find and highly coveted fragrances. Now, we're here to talk about the fragrances a little bit, but most of the time is to gauge whether or not you should seek them out, especially if it's one that you've never actually had the pleasure of smelling. Now, all of these are fine fragrances, and there's no doubt that there's going to be some people that are going to make the decision that yes, I do want them, and some people that are going to be like, no, this isn't a definitive sort of decision. It's just my opinion on whether or not these are worth it. So, is it time to chase a unicorn? Let's find out. Now, this one is pretty damn difficult to find. This one is called By Man by Dolce & Gabbana. Or D&G, Dolce Gabbana By Man. Okay. Woo, what can we say about this guy? The bottle itself is quite distinctive, but nothing will prepare you for this scent. It isn't challenging in that it smells like burning dog shit inside of an imitation leather shoe. No, nothing like that at all. To me, this is a floral weirdo. It's like a barbershop oriental without the obligatory vanilla. There's lavender in here. And when it's mixed with the artemisia, it's giving me some kind of anise vibe. And there's no anise in here, but perhaps there may be some wormwood or something like that, which in my bottle carries through to the deep mids of the scent. A floral, powdery, anisic, spicy, peppery, woody concoction. I can see why back in 1997 this may have been a tad bit left of center. Yep, this would have stood out a fair bit. I mean, look at this bottle. That zebra print, it's pretty striking. It's pretty weird because if you consider a zebra's stripes and that zebras live in the treeless grasslands and savanna woodlands, they stand out from miles away. But then again, a zebra's stripes weren't designed to camouflage themselves within their surroundings. They were designed to camouflage themselves within a group of other zebras. This thing is not going to camouflage you at all. Now, it's not that well known, but this one is another Alberto Morillas banger. Pretty sure that it was him who was the nose behind this fragrance. And if you look at it, from 1995 to the year 2000, Morillas had a bit of a run. Here are some of the fragrances that he's done that are still in production. Of course, there's Acqua di Gio, there's Pie by Givenchy, 212 Men by Carolina Herrera, Pleasures for Men by Estee Lauder, Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger, Lanvin van Loom, and BLV by Bulgari. Somehow, all of those are still in production, but this one has been discontinued. Around 2006 or 2007, I think that's when it became official, and I think in 2008 is when it started to get really hard to find, or harder to find. And as with most of their fragrances from the 90s, this D&G does not disappoint when it comes to performance. My bottle is from 2003, and it still smells and projects and lasts considerably well. Like I get a good 8 hours from it, definite, before it becomes a skin scent. Now, I'd love to tell you that this fragrance is dated. I would love to tell you that it's a relic of the past, that it's of a bygone era, that there's no place in today's world for something like this, especially in the world where we have niche offerings. I mean, it's sweet, but it's definitely not sweet enough to be considered a modern designer fragrance. The lavender in here borrows from the original Dolce Gabbana Pour Homme, the one with the sticker. However, whilst the lavender in that one is boisterous and in your face and quite cloying if you overspray, in By Man it's given an airy-fairy treatment and made ethereal and transparent and light, not in its concentration but in its feel. There's powdery leather in here, there's wormwood and a tartness from ginger and an almost milky smoothness from some sandalwood as well. And the scent itself has obvious phases in that it smells different at different times. It also smells different in different temperatures and different when it's applied to different surfaces. All signs of a lot of natural ingredients in here. That's how you can tell. I think that's one of the tests where if you spray a fragrance on different surfaces and they have different scents that come out that they present with, that's how you know that they're not synthetic, because they react rather than just sit on. Now, I'm certainly not a master perfumer yet, but I'm also not a beginner, and we can have a debate as to the definitions of niche versus mass-appealing fragrances till the cows come home. But not for the purposes of this video. I'll keep this in layman's terms. This is a niche fragrance from the past. Niche when it was released because it wasn't a sales banger compared to its older cousin, D&G Pour Homme, so it appealed to a small audience. But if it was released today, it would still be niche considering how well it's made, the airiness of it all, and that it's currently priced like a high-end niche fragrance. Yeah, so where does that leave us? Well, I'll need to caveat this and say, this is not financial advice. But for me, and that's me, not you, but for me, this is a must smell. And that's why I have it. I still wear it. It's such a beautiful scent. And whilst there used to be many of these zebras camouflaging themselves within the group, using their stripes as a means of self-preservation, over time, more and more of them have been picked off and finished. Now there aren't too many of them left, and the stripes have nowhere to hide. What was once a defense mechanism has now become a flashing neon light for all the predators to pounce on. Perhaps the saving grace for this fragrance will be if the predators fight themselves to the death over who gets to kill the last zebra.